Siberia, 1959. Winter has already started tightening its grip on Novosibirsk, and inside a fur farm on the edge of the city, a young geneticist is doing something that, on paper, sounds almost embarrassingly simple. She's reaching her hand into a fox cage. Most of the foxes react the way foxes have reacted to human hands for the entire history of fox farming. They snap, they cower, they throw themselves against the wire. But every so often, one doesn't. One just watches her, maybe leans in a little. That fox is about to become a parent, and its children are about to become one of the strangest, longest-running experiments in the history of biology. Here's the question the scientist, her name was Lyudmila Trut, working under a geneticist named Dmitri Belyaev, was actually trying to answer. How do you turn a wild animal into a dog? Not, how did it happen historically? We already had a rough answer to that. Thousands of years, generation after generation of wolves hang. So starting in 1959, Belyaev and Trut took several dozen silver foxes, the same foxes being raised on fur farms for their pelts, and set up a simple, almost brutal selection rule. Every generation, they tested how each fox pup responded to a human hand. Calm and curious pups got to breed. Anxious or aggressive ones didn't. That was the entire criterion. Nothing about size, coat, health, just temperament. And the foxes answered fast. By generation 6, which, since foxes breed yearly, meant just 6 years in, a noticeable chunk of the population wasn't just tolerating humans anymore. He suspected that selecting hard for calm behavior was quietly dragging along a cluster of genes tied to something deeper in development, possibly connected to how certain embryonic cells migrate and shape the body early on, affecting everything from adrenaline production to pigment to skull growth in one linked package. Decades later, geneticists, including Anna Kukakova's team, working with the fox lineage at Cornell, started finding actual gene regions on fox chromosome 15 associated with exactly this kind of domestication-linked cluster. The idea had a name by then: domestication syndrome. Floppy ears, patchy coats, juvenile faces, and calm temperament, arriving as a package deal across completely unrelated species: dogs, pigs, cattle, even, some argue, us. For decades, that was the tidy version of the story. Pure behavioral selection, and the physical traits just came along for free in a matter of generations. Trut pushed back hard on this. She maintained her team had checked those same fur farm populations directly and found the calm, patchy foxes were rare outliers, not evidence the traits were common before selection began. The debate isn't fully settled, but it's a genuinely useful complication because it means the fox experiment isn't just a cute story about a scientist and a friendly animal. It's a live, ongoing argument about how domestication actually works at the genetic level and how careful you have to be before declaring a package deal of traits is universal. Here's why any of this should matter to you, specifically, and not just to fox geneticists in Siberia. This same domestication syndrome idea has been used to try to explain something a lot closer to home: us. She passed away in October 2024, having spent more than 23,000 days on a project that started with one simple question and one gloved hand reaching into a cage. The experiment, remarkably, is still running.